Hi guys, good morning. It's Samantha at Very Nice Vegan. Lovely to see you. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. I'm up here at the top of Goodwood over in Sussex. I thought I'd come and enjoy the sunshine and have a look at the amazing view while I'm up here. And I'll just have a quick chat with you too. I'm going to turn it around so you can have a quick look at the view because it is quite stunning actually. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Not going to be many more days like this, I should imagine, before the winter sets in, so you've got to enjoy them where you can. So what I thought I'd talk to you today about is what it feels like to be on a vegan diet or vegan raw diet, because a lot of people tell you should be on this and you should be taking that, but not a lot of people talk about how you feel, how it affects you with your body, and just generally your well-being, you know, how it is making a difference to your life. So what I thought we'd do is go through that today with you. So I have been vegan, as a lot of you know, for coming up for about 3 years now. Previous to that we were vegetarian. Didn't realise, of course, at the time that wasn't enough, and you know, from my point of view, obviously I wish I was never part of that way of life now, but there we are. I can't change that. I am changing now. I have changed now. My whole outlook on life has changed now, and so is my families and my boys, which is amazing, and that can only get better and better and better. So it's, you know, quite exciting to know where that's going to lead and how it's going to go. But for me personally, from a health point of view, probably need to go back a bit so you can kind of understand. But if you imagine the most stressed out person you have ever come across in your life, who deals with tons and tons of stress, never has an opportunity to take time out to go and de-stress, and is just constantly in that kind of world of all the time. Imagine that person, okay? Because that is me, was me, is me still, I suppose, but not as bad, as stressed, as unhealthy and everything else as I was. So I was a couple of stone heavier than I am now, by going vegetarian and then looking more into vegan foods, and just general nutrition and things. You know, I've done an awful lot of research, and I can't emphasize that enough, that if you're interested in making your body healthier, if you're thinking of making your body last longer, of being better for the planet and all of that, you have got to do your research, because the more you read, the more you listen to YouTube videos, the more you sit down and research on the internet, you know, in your lunch break, just look something up, and the more knowledge you get behind you, the healthier you're going to be, because you're going to know what to do. You're going to know what's right for your body. It isn't right for everybody, everything you read. Everyone's body is different. We all do different things. We're all working at different paces. You know, some of us exercise a lot, some of us don't, some of us would love to but don't have the time. But you know, all your bodies are different and they're all going to react differently. So you have to find the thing that works for you, which I think is quite difficult for anyone starting out on a health journey, because you really want someone to sit down with you and say, okay, this is what you got to do, this is what you got to eat, this is when you need to eat it, this is how much exercise you do, and if you do all of that, you're going to be healthy in a couple of months. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to find that information out for yourself. Now, go and sit and read up as much as you can. Listen to things. I often listen to YouTube clips and things when I'm in the car. Obviously don't watch them because I'm driving, but I do have them going through my auxiliary thing in my speakers, so I can listen to YouTube clips about nutrition, about vegan lifestyle, about, you know, climate change. I listen to all sorts of things when I'm driving along. I don't have music on anymore. I'm actually kind of learning as I'm going along in the car. So if you spend a lot of time on, say, the school run in the morning or in traffic, you know, I spent an hour and a half in traffic this morning to try and get here. It's ridiculous. I only live about 20 minutes away, but the traffic's just been awful. Everybody's out. It's probably because of the sun. But that was a really good time for me to actually put something on in the background and learn some more things. You know, that's the only way you're going to do it. So if you're not a sit down and read a book type of person, if you can't be bothered to look things up on a computer or whatever, find some YouTube videos, click on and subscribe to some people that you think are worth listening to, and then listen to them in the car. Could subscribe to me as well while you're at that, please. But you know, listen to them and learn as much as you can. So how does it affect you then once you start going onto your vegan diet or raw vegan diet? Now, those two diets are quite different. Vegan obviously is cutting out your meat, your fish, your dairy products, all of that, anything comes from an animal. Not using animals in your clothing ideally as well. If you have some items already, this is always a bit of a tricky one. I have lots of people asking me about this. You know, what do you do if you already have a pair of leather boots? They cost you 200 quid. You've had them for a couple of years, they'll probably last for another, you know, 5, 6, 7 years. You can't really afford to throw them out and replace them with some non-vegan shoes. It is hard, it is difficult, and I think the answer again really is it's down to you. There are no rules. You know, someone can't say, oh, you're not vegan because you've got a pair of leather shoes on. Now your answer to that would be, I bought these a long time ago. Throwing these out at this stage will make no difference whatsoever to that animal, and it won't. Not buying another pair when those wear out, that is going to make a difference, obviously, and that's why you're vegan. Okay. Now some people will do that, will keep hold of their things, so like leather belts, leather jackets, leather furniture. We had a suede sofa, which now I think about it, but you know, at the time that's where we were, so again, you know, I can't change that. But literally the second we became vegan, I couldn't even sit on it, and we hadn't had it very long. It cost us a lot of money. It was supposed to be our kind of sofa for life, if you know what I mean. You know, there's 6 of us in the family, we've got 4 boys, we need a big sofa, so we bought this big sofa. It was a recliner and everything, it was beautiful, but it was made from animal skin at the end of the day. And to me, no matter how much that cost us, I couldn't sit on it. I wasn't comfortable knowing what those animals have been through in order to make that piece of furniture for me to sit on in the lounge. And that's just me. Other people might find they're quite happy to keep their leather furniture, and again, when it comes the time for those to be replaced, obviously you wouldn't be replacing them with animal product furniture. You'd be buying a vegan leather, because there's lots of those coming out now, different types of vegan leather. Some are made from apples, some are made from fabric, old tires. There's all sorts of things that are coming out, which is incredible. Recycled glass bottles I saw the other day as well, that's been made into a fabric, and you can buy school trousers that are made out of recycled glass bottles now, which, you know, is brilliant. Of course, ideally, we don't want to be producing so much in the first place to have to recycle, but that's a whole nother video. So going back to the sofa. So in the end, what we did is I sold it because I couldn't cope, basically. I sold it. We did lose money on it, but for me, it was the right decision. I haven't got anything in my wardrobe now either that is leather, and it took me a while to kind of decide whether that was a good thing to throw out or not throw out. I didn't throw it out as in the bin. They did still have some use to them. We work along with our not-for-profit charity. We work along a lot of families that don't have very much or struggle to buy things, and to be honest, normally with the families that we deal with, when the parents or the carers do have money, that money is spent on the children, and they very rarely spend anything on themselves. So I thought it would be nice to donate some of the, you know, rather nice stuff that I did have, not nice in the fact it came from animals, but nice in its design, to people that can't afford to go out and buy things. So that's what I've done. I've donated them to other people in need. I think that's a really good option. Don't just throw them out if they've got any life in them. Obviously if they're falling apart, then yes, and then replace them with some non-vegan stuff. But I had enough to be able to give those away, and the things that I've got left I'm just using for now, and when we've got a bit more money, you know, and I feel like true to myself, then I will go and buy something that's obviously vegan, that is non-leather, and it isn't just the leather as well. The thing you have to be aware of with manufacturing and shoes, and again you'll learn this the more that you listen to, is that you might think, oh, I can buy those shoes because they're made out of fabric, or they're made out of like a PVCU type stuff, so like a fake leather. But what you don't realise is a lot of glues and colour dyes that are used in furniture and in shoes and things are often from animal products, you know, byproducts of some sort, particularly glues in shoes. It's horrible. So if you're not sure which ones to go for, don't just go for a fabric one. Look up, do your research and find out who sells actual vegan shoes. Marks and Spencers are a big line here in the UK that have brought out stuff that you can buy on the high street. You can buy ladies and men's vegan shoes, so that means there isn't any glue in there that's from animal products, that the dyes are a natural dye, and the fabrics themselves obviously are not in any way made from animals or use any animal byproducts. But again, do your research, have a look around. There might be some, you know, really good ones that are what you call accidentally vegan. I'm sure you've come across accidentally vegan foods, so they're not labelled as vegan, but in actual fact they are vegan, because they don't have the animal products in, they don't have palm oil. Again, probably another video on that, but for us, palm oil, we don't buy anything with palm oil in. We check every single label on everything, and if it's got palm oil in, even if it's vegan, if it's got palm oil in, personally, we don't buy it. I don't believe there's such a thing as sustainable palm. We're still cutting down loads and loads of trees, and obviously the whole orangutan issue is just horrendous. I remember seeing, I probably should go into this in another video, but just very quickly, I remember seeing a clip, I think it was on YouTube, but it might have been put through on Facebook as well, of this monkey, of these diggers basically taking down all the trees, and this orangutan with his hand on the digger bucket. Now, he was doing that because his family, his babies were living in the tree they were about to knock down. And he had his hand on the bucket like this. I mean, emotionally, I just found that so hard to watch. And underneath, I remember the information underneath said that, this orangutan couldn't be saved and his family. And they were all shot because they wanted this tree, they wanted the palm oil from this tree. And I'm sorry, but there is no excuse for that these days. And these big corporations have been doing it for years without us actually realising. Quite frankly, you should be ashamed of yourselves. But again, another subject. But for us, there isn't such a thing as sustainable palm oil. I'm sorry, but we do not buy that. Now, again, that's a personal choice to us. It may not be for you. But look into it, do your research, read up on it, and decide whether you feel, if it says on the packet palm oil, it's definitely not sustainable. But if it says from sustainable palm oil sources, then, you have to decide whether that's for you or not. But again, by cutting out all of these things from your diet, you are going to be naturally healthier, because this is the things that your body doesn't need, it doesn't want. Unless you start putting in good stuff, you're not going to get good stuff out of your body either. So you need to really bear that in mind when you're looking at things. I'm having problems with my phone. There you go. You need to bear this in mind, because it's like everything, isn't it? You put dodgy fuel in your car, it's not going to run properly. You've got to have the proper amount of energy. You've got to be eating clean all the time. Not just, I eat clean 5 times a week and then 2 days a week I'll, have hamburgers and chips and stuff. It isn't going to work like that. It's obviously better than not doing it at all, but it is going to make your progress into being healthy, your body being healthier, for lasting longer, for for health, everything is going to take a lot longer. So you have to decide, do you want that to take longer, or are you ready to be healthy now? Because for me, I think when I started reading up on everything, and I thought, this is daft, what am I doing? I might be having salad or something during the day and some juices, and juices and stuff like that is something else you need to watch out for, because they are absolutely loaded with sugar, a lot of them. And because if you're juicing as well, so you're putting your fruit in a juicer and you're taking all the fibre out, the fibre is the thing that helps your body absorb the sugar in a proper rate. Whereas if you're just chucking sugar down you without any fibre at all, that's not actually healthy either. So you might think to yourself, I'll have a juice, I'll have a huge great big container, as you see these people drinking on Facebook, of this beautiful coloured fruit juice, but it's sugar. All of it is sugar, so you have to be very careful. What you want to be doing is supplementing half, 3/4 of that jar, if not all of that jar, with greens. You want to be putting in the things that are, they're not sweet, they're more bitter, they're better for your body. It helps your body fight things. If you put in loads of sweet stuff, all the bugs and bacteria and everything else that's living inside you, they love that sweet stuff. They really, really do. And again, you're not going to be healthy by keep feeding all of those things. What you want to do is get all those bugs out, kill them off. You don't need them. So you can just supplement your stuff with more greens. Yes, it isn't going to taste the best in the world, but do you know what? Again, I want to be healthy. I don't want to be sitting there drinking loads of sweet stuff. I'm not 6 months old trying to encourage to be eating like a baby. What I actually want to be is healthy. And today, in actual fact, I'm on day 3 of my fast. So I've been eating up until about 8 o'clock, I suppose, 9 o'clock at absolute latest, depending on how work's going. And then I'm not eating at all when I wake up in the morning. I will have water through the day. I know lots of people do water fasts and things as well, but I'm not really at that stage yet. And still, I need to do more research onto whether that's the right way to go or not. But for me, I'm quite enjoying this sort of fast up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock. at the moment I've been doing up to around 2, and then I've been having things like lettuce, and I've been doing some lettuce wraps, you know, with salad in, but using the lettuce as opposed to bread. And for me, I find that really works actually. I quite enjoyed having that, and I've enjoyed it because I haven't been snacking throughout the day as well. And my body, hopefully, in the meantime, is burning away some of that fat that I have left to make me again healthier. You know, I need to get rid of the fat and get the good stuff in, and by being lighter and fresher and cleaner on the inside, I can't tell you how different it makes you feel. I have never in my life ever been a morning person. I'm the last person out of bed. I'm fairly grumpy, it's probably fair to say. In the morning, I'm sure my husband will be going yay. But I know that I have been like that, but now I'm sleeping better. Again, I have never slept well because I'm always quite stressed. I have loads of things going round and round and round and round and round in my mind, and switching that off at night I find quite hard, and I tend to do things like watch some telly, look stuff up on my phone, and then eventually I'm kind of, you know, thinking, oh, I'll fall asleep, but it's not good, you know. That's 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I need to be up early for the kiddies in the morning anyway, and it just wasn't going well. I just felt sluggish all the time. I was tired all the time, and even if I was eating quite well, if you don't sleep well, and you hear everyone say this, you know, sleep is very important, blah blah blah, but actually I have discovered that I am sleeping through as well. I'm not waking up. I used to wake up a lot during the night, move around a lot and all that sort of stuff, but now I'm not. I am actually going to sleep at a sensible time, 9, you know. It has crept up to 10, but I'm trying to get it, you know, under 10 o'clock at night, and then I'm waking up at about 5:30 in the morning, and I'm not feeling, I can't get out of bed. I'm not feeling sluggish. I'm not thinking, oh, just half an hour more, you know, and pull the duvet over. I do actually want to get up, and it's been great because I've been up with the kids. You know, I'm not, again, quite so grumpy in the morning, so it's a bit easier to handle 4 children trying to get off to school. But it's just, for me, I'm finding that this lifestyle is working, and you know, I've been on Weight Watchers when I was younger. I was never hugely overweight. I went up to about a size sort of 16, I think. But generally I'm hovering around a 14, and 14's okay, it's all right. But, you know, I'd rather be a 10 or a 12. I'm never going to be very small because I am, you know, I'm I don't know what you call it, sort of like medium framed, if you like. I'm not skinny, I'm not teeny, you know, I'm not petite, so I'm never going to be tiny, but what I want to be is more trimmed, and I want to be healthy. I want to be here for my kids, you know, in the next 20, 30, 40 years, and I'm 49 now. Yes, I know. I'm 49. I've got the big 50 coming up next year, which I'm not looking forward to, but I guess I am actually looking forward to it, because I'm going into it in a totally different way than I would have been a few years ago. So I'm going in healthier, I'm going in with more knowledge, I'm going in with empowerment, if you like, to go forward, not just for my kids, but for me too, and for you guys. You know, this is why I do these videos, because you know, I've found empowerment, if you like, by reading things, and you need to get out there and do that. And I think I've listened to videos and things before, and they've said that, and you just think, yeah, you know, but you know, I haven't got the time. I whatever. Do you know what? You are going to have more time if you have a healthier body. You're not going to have time if you keep filling it with junk. You're not taking any exercise. You're not sleeping well. You know, all of these things, we know they're not good for us, and I think once you start changing your lifestyle, you will feel better, and once you start feeling better, that kind of pushes you on to the next stage, into either your, you know, your fitness or just your diet. You know, if you cannot exercise, or you find exercise very hard, or you have some sort of aches and pains that find it hard to exercise, and I've got a really bad neck. I have had since I was younger, and I struggle with most forms of exercises because it, you know, just makes my neck hurt, you know, jolting up and down if I'm running, or, you know, anything that I choose to do, I tend to find I suffer mostly in my neck. But so if you can't do that, if you cannot get out there and exercise, or you don't have time at the moment, you know, and I know we all live really busy lives, just change your diet. It's the only thing you need to do, because once you've done that, you'll be more spurred on as you get lighter and fitter and healthier to be doing things like exercise, for going out on a walk on a beautiful day like this. You know, this is such an amazing day, and before I probably would have sat home. I might have sat at home in front of the telly if I had a spare hour. I might have you know, probably stuff my face with, you know, a couple of rounds of toast and things like that. You know, I don't eat bread now. I don't snack on things. The only thing I'm dying to have right now is a green juice, which is really sad, but it is. That's actually what I want. You know, this morning I had a large glass of water, probably about 3/4 of a pint of water, with a couple of spoons of Super Greens. That's all I've had. I didn't have anything that would require my body to work overtime with my digestion, so I didn't have any sweet things, any fruit, anything, any nuts, anything that's given me energy, which my body needs to kind of to digest, to do. What I want to do is burn off a little bit of my fat, which is why I'm doing this fasting thing. And although originally I thought to myself, oh, I don't know, am I going to get a bit dizzy, a little bit, you know, whatever, I haven't found that yet. And like I say, I'm on day 3, day 4 of this fast, and I haven't found that, and I have been feeling better. And if it's making me feel better, it's got to be doing something good. So I'm going to stick with it for now, and I will get back to you towards the end of the week when I've completed a week, because I'm going to try and do it for a week, because like I say, I'm feeling fine, so I can't see any reason why not to. So I'm going to carry on doing it for a week, and then as I say, I'll report back. So what I'm probably start eating at about sort of 3-4 o'clock tonight. I'll eat through till just before it gets dark, probably about sort of 8 o'clock ish, and then that's it. I won't have anything else. I am still continuing to drink water, because I think that's quite important, and certainly for me, I need to be hydrated all the time. And yes, you're going to be on the loo all the time, but you know, it's a short sacrifice to make, quite frankly, isn't it, if the rest of your body is being healthy. So in terms of how it makes you feel, which is what this video is about, for me, it's my mind is clearer. I am able to get up in the mornings earlier than I did. I've always wanted to be a morning person, but just never been able to do it. But now I am becoming this morning person, and I find that just amazing. So my body is feeling better. I'm feeling lighter, as I said, and I am feeling healthier, because I think once all that kicks in, you can only feel healthier, and you can only feel inspired and empowered to go on and do more. So I will continue my research. I do keep watching other people on YouTube. I get ideas which I go off and research. I then plan recipes and things around them, and you can find those on either our Facebook page, The Very Nice Vegan, or sometimes I do YouTube clips of them as well. Bear with us, we have got lots that we are working on, but we haven't managed to upload yet. So when you go on, you might think, oh, it's not very much there, there's only 1 or 2. There is more coming, so bear with us, and please just, you know, comment and let us know what you'd like to see. If there's a particular vegan food that you, or maybe a non-vegan vegan food if you're just converting, that you loved, that you'd like to have in a vegan version, let us know. You know, I'll get you a recipe, I will make you one, and I will video it so you can see how to do it. But yeah, just put things in the comments about what you want to see, what you'd like to hear about, if you'd like more information on you know, how you get your protein, which is something we get all the time. To be honest, I don't think anyone's ever short of that much protein, but anyway, protein, your vitamin C, your vitamin D, because coming into this time of year now, I mean, we're, you know, September, we're not going to be having this sunshine for much longer, so it's important to keep your vitamin D up through the winter, and that's something I have suffered with before. And I've taken things like supplements and stuff, not realizing, of course, that most of the supplements that you buy in the supermarket, unfortunately, are made in a lab. They are not proper vitamin C, and a lot of them actually, or D, can do you long term a little bit more harm than good, unfortunately. And that's something else you need to look up if you're taking supplements. Whereas if you're taking your vitamins direct from your food, and again, we will go through this in another video, but again, message me if you want any information about how to get your vitamin C and your vitamin D through your food every day. And again, you know, it might be these super green powders, or you know, there's lots of different superfoods out there that you can put in water and things like that, so you don't necessarily even need to be eating like a whole bowl of kale or something. You know, you can supplement it in your smoothies, your juices, your drinks that you have throughout the day as well. And you can sprinkle them on tops of food. I do that quite a lot. I do that with my kiddies' porridge. If they're having porridge in the morning, which oats are good, it gives them their energy to go through the day. They're having it with coconut milk or almond milk or something. And then I'll sprinkle some sort of superfood on the top. And it might be like a chocolate superfood that's got loads of berries in as well. Or it could be the super green powder. It could be a protein powder. It could be any of those things. But that's a way of getting the nutrients into the kiddies, I've found, as well as obviously the healthy eating of the food. And my boys are great. They will eat pretty much anything. They don't have a choice much, because I'm not going to buy sweets, crisps and all that sort of stuff, and they know that. So they do eat healthily. But the way to get extra stuff in, to know that they've absolutely got everything they do, is obviously supplements, making sure you get the right ones, do your research, but mainly through their food. Give it to them through their food. Plus the fact, actually, do you know what, it's a lot cheaper. I mean, I've got 4 boys. You might only have 1 or 2 kiddies, or no kiddies at all, and the supplements don't cost very much. But for us, there's a family of 6, that's 6 supplement tablets of whichever type we have every day. And if you have like 2 or 3, say you have your general, like over here you can get something like called a Veg 1, which is from the Vegan Society, to make sure you get like your B12 and your selenium and all those sort of things in there. But you might also take a vegan omega-3, you might take a vitamin C, a zinc, a magnesium, something like that. That's a lot of tablets, which costs a lot of money to do. So again, if you can get it through your food and the things you're everyday eating, then that's got to be better, surely. Not only does it taste better and it's nicer than taking tablets, and a lot of kiddies don't cope well with taking tablets anyway, but it is cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. And again, you're learning about what foods you need to eat in order to balance your lifestyle to make you healthy. And again, that's a good thing too. So in terms of how I'm feeling at the moment, I have been on a vegan diet for a long time, as I've said, but I've been more pushing into the raw vegan side of foods, and I would say I'm probably, I don't know, 85 to 90% vegan at the moment. I do have the occasional cook thing. I have to say I don't enjoy it, and I'm probably going to be going more up towards that 100% on the raw foods, but it is a slow process, and I don't think you should just kind of switch over just like that. You need to, again, do your research to make sure that you're having all the right nutrients, because there's no point switching to a diet that doesn't offer you everything you need, because you won't be healthy long term. So you do need to look that up. There's the cost implications as well, because eating raw, it can be expensive, but again, it depends on where you buy. Do your shopping in the places where, if they've got their, I don't know, cucumbers and cabbages at 50p, then go there, and then go somewhere else for your other stuff. That's what I've started doing, rather than shopping all in one place. I used to get everything in a well-known supermarket, but now I go to 2 or 3 different ones. Some of the cheaper level ones to buy some things, and some of the more expensive things to shops to buy the other bit. So again, if you shop around, you shouldn't find that your shopping total over the week comes to more than it would have done before. But also, I don't spend a lot of time cooking. There's too many of us, there's too much going on for me to be standing there cooking for 2 hours in an evening. The thing I love about the raw food is you can just chuck it in a bowl and away you go. Now obviously you can use the dehydrator and everything else too, but that all takes a little bit more practice, a little bit more time, a little bit more research, and we'll be doing videos on dehydrator recipes as well for those of you that want to learn. I do have one. I don't use it as much as I'd like to, but I do love it, the things that I put in it, and the kids love it as well. Just dehydrating fruit, because you take obviously the moisture out of the fruit when you're dehydrating, it means the sweetness of that fruit is like multiplied 10-20 times. So it's like if you dehydrate a piece of kiwi, or even apple, banana, strawberries, that's one of the favorite ones for the boys, they're like sweets. They're literally like sweets when they come out of the dehydrator. They are very, very sweet, but it's actually really good for you. So as I say, we'll do that in another video. But just so you know, for now, I am feeling better on the raw diet than I was on the vegan diet. And I think also being on the raw diet, obviously you don't get tempted into eating what you call dirty vegan stuff. So things like your burgers, your dirty fries, your pre-bought store like sausages that have got all sorts of things in them. And I know it's all good things compared to the meat stuff. It really is good things. But it does still have an awful lot of ingredients in that you do not need. You don't need the preservatives that are in there. That's got to sit on the shelf for 6 months or however long it takes for them to sell it. Whereas if you're doing it yourself, you don't need any of those things, so it can only naturally be healthier. And I think also you need to fall back in love with cooking. If you're moving from a standard diet onto a vegan diet, the thing I found is I actually fell in love with cooking. Now, I loved cooking before, mainly cakes, I have to say, but I did love cooking before, but not as much as I do with vegan cooking, because the colours in the vegan food, oh my God, I mean, why would you eat a bland piece of meat and fish or stuff like that? When you think about all of those things, they are a horrible colour when they're all cooked, all of those. And the only way to make them better is the other things you put on your plate, or the sauce you cover it in, or you wrap it in pastry and decorate that or something. They are bland, horrible looking foods. The thing about vegan food is the colours are just so vibrant, so amazing, and it makes you happy. I call them happy plates. You know, they are happy plates. You put down a plate of food, it's going to make someone smile. All the reds, the greens, the yellows, the oranges, you know, all the different stuff that's on there with all these colours is just fascinating to me. And I fell so much in love with vegan cooking, and I think also as much, if not slightly more, with the raw, because the raw, again, because you're not cooking things down, which loses a lot of colours, and of course with the colour goes out your antioxidants, your vitamins, your minerals, all of that sort of stuff, which is a basis for eating raw food because you get more of those. But the colours in that is even more so, I think, for me, a joy to eat. You know, I look at that plate of food and to me it is beautiful. And I like to eat things that look good. I've always been slightly snobby in the fact that if I serve up a bowl of porridge, it's not just a bowl of porridge. It's a bowl of porridge that has, you know, mint in the middle. It's got nuts that I've crushed up and sprinkled around the outside. It's got a line of chocolate through it or something. You know, it has to look pretty. You've got to eat pretty food. And if you're on a vegan diet, you will be eating pretty food. But if you're on a raw vegan diet, trust me, it's even prettier. It's lovely. It's really, really nice. Anyway, so I will get back to you, as I say, towards the end of the week after I've finished my weekly fast, and I'll let you know how it's affected my body, how I'm feeling, whether I have more energy, less energy, you know, how it's gone really, whether I've had a blip because I've got too stressed out with something at work or something or other else, but I will let you know. But in the meantime, keep up that good food. Bye.